Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, along with Marcus Bullock, coach, and Jason Bryce, producer. We are coming to you after a not surprising Eagles loss last night when we recap. And I know Jason is ready to go in. I know Marcus is ready to go in. You know, I think that we all expected what happened last night in the Eagles loss. I think it's just a telltale sign of what's going on within this organization, what's going on with this coaching staff, where the fan base is. I know a lot of people have tremendous thoughts about Doug, about Howie, about Carson. So we will see what's going on tonight. But as we usually start off, Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm good, man. I mean, you know, it's another Tuesday, and I'm relaxed, man. You know, this game didn't really do much for me either way. Kind of what was expected, and we'll get into it. But no, I'm good. All is good, and I'm itching to talk about it.
I know. How are you doing, Jay? I know you're ready to go in.
Yo, it's Tuesday.
Turn
up Tuesdays, baby.
If you watch
Turn up Tuesdays.
For all of us who watched.
Man.
For those who watched on Sunday, I know Jay sometimes, you know, he likes to get the opportunity to go first. So I'm going. He likes to go first. So he figures I don't want him to feel some kind of way. So Jay, I'm gonna let you go in, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna listen to every word you have to say.
Well, at least ask me how I'm doing, though. I mean, you know what
How
I'm
are
saying?
you, sir?
I feel some type of way. Yeah, I feel turned up. That's why. I feel really good. You know what I mean? Because I get to talk about my favorite subject. Cost.
Oh, okay.
Cost. What's up with Carson, man? So I'm not even. I gotta go into. I'm not one to always just come right out the gate, whatever. I gotta warm up a little bit. But I will say this: is it now time to hold them accountable?
Okay. You want to warm up a bit and let me go in a little bit of my thoughts?
Yeah. Go on with your thoughts.
So I'll let you warm up a little bit. Let it marinate.
Okay, but I want you to know that the vision is and the listening is directly on you. So I'm going to be able to tell when you're not holding him accountable and you're still giving him the nibble.
Well, here's the thing. And I'm going to start off. Last night, let's just start off with last night's game. Mm-hmm. Last night's game was pathetic. Doug Peterson, you suck. And your game plan was terrible. You have no idea what you're doing with play calling. Your team comes out. You have 5 straight 3-and-outs. You have, after your defense came up with a huge stop when you're talking about 2 dumb personal foul penalties, and your defense was able to make a huge stop for you. You come out, you don't do anything. You literally had a encroachment penalty on the defense, or that allowed it to be 1st and 5, and you couldn't even gain 5 yards. You come out, you have a quarterback who has his 10th different offensive line playing in front of him. You have him drop back 45 times to throw the ball. You run the ball with arguably your best offensive player in Miles Sanders 6 times. You come out, and then you talk about wanting to integrate Jalen Hurts into the game, which I think all of us were okay with at this point. You have him play a max of 3 plays. He hands the ball off one time. He throws a 6-yard play. Then he's nowhere to be found. And then today, you're sitting there, and you pretty much are just backtracking in everything you said. You're not taking accountability for the mistakes you made. And another thing, too.
You said, damn. Yo, listen.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm
getting there.
Go ahead.
I'm getting there.
Oh, man.
Listen, I'm getting there. But here's the thing. So, Doug, this you have not set your team up for success at all. Now, on top of that, we will go down. You look at on the field and go right over from Doug Peterson. We go to Jim Schwartz. So, Jim Schwartz, you have DK Metcalf, who's already a monster in this league and is motivated in this game because you, the Eagles organization, passed him up for a guy who was a healthy scratch today in that game. Didn't even see the field. And you go up to him and you motivate him pregame by telling him, oh, you're no Calvin Johnson. This dude didn't need any motivation at all. He was already hyped up. And you go there and you hype him up. And after that, Howie Roseman, you got to look at everything that you've done. You have nothing to show for what you've done. You see players that you passed over continue to hurt your team in Justin Jefferson, in DK Metcalf. You have nothing that you can look at and feel good about. And then when it comes down to Carson Wentz, listen, Carson, you dropped back 45 times. The game plan did not help you out. But at the same time, when you had opportunities, you missed a lot of throws. You have 95 off-target throws, which leads the league. You got 15 interceptions, which leads the league. And I don't know where your head is at. I don't know where your thought process is at. But right now, Carson, you are not what we thought you were. And Jay, that's my thoughts right now. And
I say you still. It's a pattern with you. I listen. That's what we did. This is a special edition.
But here's the thing, though. I still am going.
I just want to help you.
But I still this. Carson is not what he thought he is. Also because
no, he is who we thought.
They are who we thought they were.
He
is. With Denny Green.
He is. No, he is. The problem is that he's not following. I think he's going rogue. I don't think he cares for Peterson, and I don't think Peterson cares for him.
No.
There's obviously a disconnect. But here's the thing. Peterson won him a chip. Carson ain't win a damn thing.
Well,
Carson's won nothing.
No, we're seeing.
He's won nothing.
We're seeing this. We are, and it's so evident now how inept.
But that's the problem, though. Why does it take so long and $120-something million to see that he's not?
Right, but we're talking about. Here's the thing, though. We go every show. We say the same thing, and you don't listen to why the Eagles had to give him that money. But here's the thing. No, they did. Because they literally couldn't go back on it. We talk about, and this goes back to Howie Roseman, going back to where he mortgaged the future by giving up all the draft picks to get Carson. You couldn't sit here, give up all these picks, and then say, it didn't work out. You were forced to give it. On top of that, when it comes to finances, you still signed Carson at a much lower annual salary than he would have had to get with a big contract. But with that said, the ineptitude of Doug Peterson is the problem of this team because it's showing so much how Frank Reich and all the coordinators were the reason behind the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Doug Peterson, you suck. You need to be gone at the end of this season. I'm done with you.
That's terrible. I mean, I think that's really terrible, to be honest with you. I mean, the man brought you to the Super Bowl. Carson didn't bring you jack. Okay, he brought you to 11-2, but then Foles played the rest of the way. Okay. And then he won all those playoff games. Okay? Carson hasn't won one playoff game. No. So what the hell did you pay him for? Pay him for what?
You had to pay him.
You had to pay him.
You had to pay him.
So what you're saying is that Roseman did something good. That's what you're saying, right?
No. Roseman's did nothing good.
But wait a minute. They had to pay him.
They paid him because they were backed into a corner.
So then he did something good. Okay?
They were backed into a corner where they had to pay him. They had to pay him.
I think if you blame Roseman, then you blame him for giving Carson the contract. Because they didn't have to pay him a damn thing. He didn't win nothing. No. He won nothing.
You're not saying you had to give him the contract based on what they gave up.
Based on what? 11-2?
What they gave up. You're not listening.
What are you?
You're not listening.
You're saying what he gave up. What did he give up?
You're not listening. We gave up multiple draft picks to move up. You mortgaged the future to move up and get your franchise quarterback.
Roseman.
Yes.
But yet I seen you at the same time, because you just fumbled into my argument. I see at the same time sit here and state how if it wasn't for Carson, the Eagles don't have no Super Bowl.
I never said that. Where did I say it?
Oh my Lord.
No.
Oh, if I had
no, here's the thing though.
If I had to take, you have said that.
Excuse me.
If it wasn't for Carson, they would not be. They wouldn't have been in position.
I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Okay,
you're right.
Okay,
that is true, and I will still stick to that point to this day.
So then Roseman did something good. Then he did something good.
But you don't understand past that. What has he done?
Past that is what happened. He believed in Carson.
But you're talking about
garbage.
But that was here's the thing though too. On top of that, you're okay, maybe he did go with that pick. But he has failed this organization with setting them up with success. Reaching multiple times for players that were on nobody's board.
Hold on. Woo. Hold on. When was the last time the Eagles won a championship? Before 2017.
1960.
They never won one.
Well, they got an NFL championship.
So he did something good. I mean, during that, I went to work that day. You know how many people called out that day?
Good, yeah.
It was almost like a national holiday around.
No,
they canceled school.
Yeah.
They gave people off from work. I mean, we even had an Eagle celebration at the school, even though we couldn't take off All we did was just talk about Eagles. So what?
Oh, I'm
what?
sorry. It just
No,
ain't
no, it's
sad.
all
Gotta deal with that.
a real champion.
Oh, here
it's
we
just-
go with the
no,
New
no,
York
I'm just
shit.
saying, but it's just like another day in the park. Like, okay, we got the job done. We celebrate. We get back to business.
Another day in the
Okay.
park for the
No,
New York
but you
Jets.
got, the Eagles. They had to shut everything down because what? It was a once in a lifetime thing.
It probably
this,
is.
This doesn't come often.
No.
So Roseman did something right.
But
and
you
here's
don't
the guy.
understand. You don't understand.
Okay,
You don't
I
understand.
My eyes see everything. Carson has done nothing since 11-2, but he's been given 120-something million.
See,
and
so
on
listen,
top of that,
I'm gonna say this.
on top of that, and I've heard something about the contract on here. I hear the contract is horrible.
The contract,
And-
but
and it's
here's
got-
the
it's
thing,
got
though.
the Eagles
If
locked.
you put the Eagles in a situation, if you put Carson Wentz, like Phil, who's watching with us right now, said he would take Carson over Baker Mayfield, other quarterbacks. You have to remember that Carson is playing behind his 10 different
But-
offensive line.
But
10
why
different offensive
why
lines.
are so many people high on Carson because of 11-2? He had one good moment. I don't know what else he's done besides that. He's been on a constant. He's been like this, down.
No,
down.
because you know why?
Ever since
Because
then.
this is where it starts. And from the top down, we've gone down, down, down.
Marcus, you play ball, right? You
Go ahead.
play ball,
Go ahead, Coach.
Marcus.
Go ahead, Coach.
At what point does the player say, "It's okay"? Now I've been regressing since 2017. I'm gonna keep finding excuses of why I'm regressing, but he never, ever comes on a press conference humbled. He comes across a little egotistical and says, "Hey, listen, this is the way we do things around here." Blah blah blah. You know why? Because you gave him the money too soon. You gave him the money too soon. But can a player just constantly blame his downfall on other people? When does he have some self-reflection?
Well, in my opinion, in my experience, the great players take that ownership no matter what, whether it's their fault or not.
Thank you.
So, Carson definitely doesn't have that. And that's a huge
But wait a minute. When has Carson not come out and say that he's got to improve?
That's what I'm saying.
So there's
See,
a difference. I think there's a difference.
So what do you want to do? You want to so you want to come out and say I suck tonight?
I would be okay with that.
No, I would
I've
be
said-
too.
I've
But
said
he's
that in
not.
games.
He's not. Here's the thing, though, and we're learning. And I'll get back to you. We are learning how Carson is built, and this is where you're learning more about him. I still believe that you have to give Carson a steady play caller, a steady offensive line, weapons around him.
Kids,
Which
you gotta give him a whole lot for 120-something million.
you're right because
Give
it
him a
starts
whole
with him, but you still need a
damn.
team around him. Go ahead, Coach. I let cut you off. Go ahead.
But no, I mean, I was getting to exactly what you're talking about. At some point, like you're blaming Howie, you're blaming Doug Peterson, which I get, and I agree. I think they both need to take some of the blame. But it's just like anything else. When you're an athlete, at some point you say, you know what, screw this. This is it. We're gonna get the job done. We're gonna figure it out. The coaches call him bad plays. I'm pretty sure Carson has the ability to audible to whatever he sees.
But does he have that? Does he have that confidence? And that's where my
That has nothing to do with Doug Peterson or anybody else.
No.
That's on him.
That's on him.
right. And that's where look. I'm telling you this. I'm still going to support Carson. I'm still going to say that if you
We know.
yes, and I'm going to. I already told you that I am holding him accountable for poor play. I told you about his bad numbers, but at the end of the day, give him a steady offensive line. Give him a legit play caller. Use his strengths around him.
You know what? I not to cut you, my brother. Okay, but I was having a conversation with a student today, and we were talking about like leadership. Okay, and she was in a situation. Just not to get into confidentiality and all that, but she was just basically kind of surmising pretty much that she wanted all the conditions around her to be amenable for her to be successful. And I told her, I said, listen, that's a great way of looking at it, but I'm going to challenge you as a leader. As a leader, you don't look for the conditions to be amenable to you. You build yourself to be flexible to the conditions. And I don't understand how Carson is not doing that. Like, that's my whole thing. My whole even argument, even getting, a little turned up on Tuesdays, is really just about, you keep coddling him. It's like people are coddling him. You have to give him this. You have to give him that. Damn. What has he done for you? And I'm telling you, In my day, it was a song. I said it was Jody Watley, but my man Charles told me it was Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? What has he done? He's done nothing.
And I'm in agreement with you there. I'm telling you this. Listen, did I come out here and look, I'm going to hold him accountable for the mistakes that he's made.
You come strategic with your language. You
know what? Okay.
You come and knock everybody else and just say,
you know what?
Well, you know,
okay.
blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
Well, you know,
I apologize.
and a lot of people do. And that's what they're right. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, Carson has had a horrible season. But he's horrible.
Okay.
What do you want me to say? It's been a horrible season for Carson Wentz. He's
he's
been maybe the worst quarterback in the NFL at times.
Okay.
All right? And he still shows, that, like last night, Marcus, you had mentioned it at one point. When he took off and got that first down, you were like, okay, let's go, Carson. And I think a lot of fans were like, this is the moment. Maybe some of the old Carson returns. All right? But then you sit here, you can't look, again, but this goes back to putting a guy in a situation to succeed. If you're having 10 different offensive lines, right? At one point, the line went off and the ball wasn't even snapped. So that just shows you the miscommunication going on there. So not just the fact that Carson is struggling because he's trying to look. And again, a lot of these throws, they're off-target throws, and that shows me that you need to get into the gym, onto the field, work on that. Your accuracy needs to be up there. You can't be missing a lot of these throws that he's missing.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, you're talking about leadership. That's where I kind of look at now, and we talked about this before about his pedigree. I'm not saying that small school guys can't be leaders because we've seen plenty of them. But when he was at North Dakota State, he was the leader. He was the man. Carson, you can kind of see that he's a guy that doesn't really just seem like he likes too much, controversy, too much, pressure on him. So that's where I'm starting to look at and say, can he come through? Because right now we're seeing that when it comes to the stress levels and when the pressure's on him, he's not stepping up. He's not making changes.
Why do you love him so? You know what? I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead. I don't even want to. Did you say that you would? Was you happy when he ran that thing? You thought he was going to be vintage Carson? Because that's what I'm saying. We gotta set the record. We gotta help my brother over here. We gotta help him here, man.
Listen, I said that when he was running, I was, it was definitely a good sign. I said actually I thought he was gonna get knocked out and he was gonna get taken out of the game and Jalen Hurts was gonna come in, blah 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 blah.
Well, and here's the thing. And my buddy Phil, who's watching with us again.
What's up, Phil? I don't know Phil, but what's up, Phil?
Yes, listen. And he's an avid watcher. We appreciate you.
Okay.
So he talks about too that even the Philly fans were all over Donovan until he got some receivers.
And see,
Well,
that was yeah.
No.
It ain't the same, is it?
If Donovan
it's different. It's different.
If Donovan would be doing what Carson's doing right now,
He'd be out of
he'd be
here.
getting death threats.
Oh my
and
God!
everything else.
No.
Right? Come on.
No, but I'm just saying,
It's not even close.
It's not close, but he makes up a good point too. But what I'm saying is, if you were able to surround Carson, and I want to see this, we're going to have to listen. We got to ride him out. If you were to cut him, you owe him $60 million. You can't do that. You literally would put your team in a stranglehold of financial situation.
I think we all understand that part of it. You can't cut him. You can't. But the problem is the accountability.
You ain't sitting him
But
down.
here's the thing, though. And I agree with that. I think look at this point in the season, Coach. I think, and here's.
You're not winning no chip this year.
This is hard for me to say. It's very hard for me to say because I still have an
I'll
affiliation.
take you off the hook for it. You don't even have to say it because it's not going to happen. Because and this is what my major point for this show is. The worst thing that happened was that score being 23-17.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it seems like it was a close game when it was not. The game was never in jeopardy. And I actually think Seattle kind of coming out at halftime was chill. They were just chilling.
They played down.
They got up 14-0. When they got up 14-0, they were like, "We got this in the bag. We got a bigger picture to look into. Is there a Super Bowl contender?" And they did. And that's actually, I'm not gonna lie. When it was 14-0, I said, I really want us to get our ass kicked because I think that's the only way that maybe some changes happen. Like I would have liked to seen, like if Seattle would have gotten up, let's say like 24-0, and you're like, this is the time to bring in somebody else or bench call. Like I would have loved to see, and I hate to say this, like a pick six to make it 21-0 Seattle, and then say, Doug, what are you going to do now? And see if the accountability would have been there.
So let me ask you this, Randy. When I know the big controversy is Doug when they went for it on 4th and 4 from whatever they were at, and Carson threw the interception. like, I don't think that was the right play call to go for it. I think you kicked the field goal because that still, no matter even if you score a touchdown, you still got to score again.
Yeah.
So I think you kicked the field goal. But why can't he just make, like, you got to make, at some point you just got to make a play. Like
when he ran, right? He made a play.
He made a play.
play.
Yeah. So like and I think if I watched that play a couple times. They put it on replay 8 times in a row, and it's like he just threw the ball. Like it was kind of like he was kind of like, you know what? It was kind of like, you know what? We shouldn't be going for it right now. I'm just gonna throw it.
Right.
Like, you know what? Like, screw you, Doug. I'm just throwing this thing.
But see, with Foles, that's what I'm saying. No, but it's the truth. I think they had.
This will be the last show.
Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I mean, I wasn't getting into the Foles thing. I'm just saying, like, as an athlete, as a competitor, like, there's been plenty of coaches I've had that I'm like, why are we running this?
Yeah, so listen, there's
But then you still have to figure out a way to get it done.
You
like,
do. As athletes, we do. Like, all of us have played sports, and we're like, listen, I got to make a play. I got to do, whether you play, you got to take the shot. Whether playing baseball, listen, I got to steal this base. Whatever you do, you say, I got to make a play for my team to get it going. You know, so you're right. He needs to make plays. There's been plenty of times that he needs to make plays, but you're right. The accountability, and that's the question mark of when is the accountability going to happen? Because at this point, I mean, at this point, the Eagles have nothing to play for. The worst thing that could happen to this team is if they somehow manage to upset one of the next 3 teams and they somehow sneak into the playoffs in a division title, because then they can fall back on, well, we still won a division and we're in the playoffs. That's the worst thing that could happen. If you ask me, I want to see us lose out. I want to see us struggle, because I think that's the only way that we see, and I've said that before in other shows, at this point, especially after this loss, the only way that we see change is if this team pretty much it doesn't make the playoffs.
I'm telling you how to see change. I think you saw a glimpse of the change. I mean, you
can't tell me 2 plays is any. I know you're saying with Jaden.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Hurts
came in and gave Alshon Jeffrey his first reception of the year. Huh?
No, I'm just some of our viewers.
Oh,
man,
okay.
I'm just saying.
He gave him his first reception of the year. Okay, I'm like, wow, that's kind of like, I don't know, that means something there. Wow, Alshon, who was
shut up. Alshon sucks.
But why does he suck?
Alshon is old and done.
Damn, but he.
Thank you for 2017.
But see, that's my thing. Why you don't have that same energy for Carson? That's my thing.
Listen.
At least Alshon played in the damn playoffs. You don't have no energy for any Carson. You defend him. You defend him for what? Why do you love him so much? That's what I want to know. Why do you like him?
Because I think also in the last 3 seasons, he has not been given a situation to succeed. And I want to see what happens if he has a legitimate play caller, if he has a stable offensive line, if the weapons around him are provided, and the ones that he has are being used properly.
What quarterback in the NFL
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
What quarterback in the NFL has all that all the time? Like, nobody. That's the NFL.
But here's the thing, though, and I agree, but here's the thing, though. He's not even, and you can't, at some point he has to make a play. I agree. And the accountability, look, I'm still saying he's been bad. I've said that early in the show. You know how hard it is for me to even say how bad.
Yeah, but when you're saying it, it's like, you know, it's like the little end part.
Oh,
you know
what about shaking the hand and crossing my fingers?
It's like, hey, listen, Peterson, you suck. Alshon, you suck. Carson, you just got to get better. I know. I've said it already. He has to get better. No. I want that same energy for Carson.
I'm not going to bring it because I don't think that you can.
What other quarterback in Eagles history was supported the way Carson is supported and ain't did a damn thing?
Here's the thing. And listen, here's the thing.
Give me one other Eagle quarterback.
No, because we've been horrible. We ran Donovan out of town when Donovan was the greatest quarterback in Eagles history.
Randall Cunningham.
Right.
No, everybody. But for some reason, Carson is the one, and he's done nothing but that one little glimpse of 11-2. Other than he's been horrible. I said that he was on decline last year. I lied. He was on a decline after the 2017. He's been horrible. horrible. And then I was bamboozled this past Sunday, thinking that he won a playoff game. He didn't even win a playoff game. Dak has won. Dak is much better than Carson. Much better. Has been proven more. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Randy. Come on, son. No, listen. What is the love affair with him? Let's get to the bottom of it.
The love affair is this. We were struggling for so long without a quarterback. We went up. We got Carson. Carson's supposed to be our guy for the next 10 years. We mortgaged the future, like I'm talking about. He came out. He had the big season that led us to the Super Bowl. Everyone hung their hat on it, and they're still hanging their hat on it. But here's the thing, too. Again, he has fallen off. The decline since 2017.
He wasn't part of the picture. The thing about it is that everybody's hanging their hat on to what he did 11-2 because the Eagles won a Super Bowl. But he wasn't. He got him 11-2. But the people that made it happen, Nicky Foles, Howie Roseman,
I think
Doug Peterson, those people you're vilifying.
Like, the thing is, everyone. Go ahead,
You're
Coach.
vilifying.
But I think even if they don't go on to win the Super Bowl that year, I still think he has to get his contract and all that stuff because of the other things that are around him. And it's a quarterback league, so that's why he has to get paid.
Yes.
That's why Dak has to get paid. That's why all these guys who are coming off their rookie deals are gonna get paid because it's a quarterback
That's
league.
fair.
You know what I mean?
They're right, and you saved money by giving him. the
I agree with that. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, and again, Howie did that. That was great. And everyone is going to tell you this. Everybody who will tell you that it's time to get rid of Howie will tell you, thank you for the team that was put together that won the Super Bowl. But ever since then, you have sucked. Your decision-making skills have sucked. Doug Peterson, thank you for the Super Bowl. You suck.
Terrible.
You know,
It's the loyalty.
I
Not
think-
Carson. Not Carson. You suck. Thank you for 11-2.
And I think that's a lot of the problem. And a lot of the
I'm
Philly
saying.
sports teams is that they hold on to guys too long. Coaches, everything. Everybody just stays too long. If you look at some of the Patriots, the Yankees are great. You know, like if somebody's not performing, you're gone.
You're gone. Accountable.
Like, and it just is what it is.
so
Like,
we had to get you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and the problem with the Eagles is, and I hate to compare them to the Patriots, is that the Patriots, it was always like whoever's coming in. Like whoever comes in just fills that role, and we're fine.
what are the Patriots doing right now?
What's that? I think they have a better record than the Eagles.
You know what I'm saying? See?
I think.
Actually, I think they did it 4-7.
Right.
Okay. But my point is, like, it was always just plug somebody in and we keep going. And that shows the coaching staff and leadership and all of that. And I agree with that part of it. But the Eagles just don't have a foundation from anywhere,
Yes, absolutely,
anywhere. And that
100%.
goes all the way down to the
100%.
quarterback who's supposed to be the leader on the field. And I don't think that the team has the trust in him.
I
think
like
Coach
the
hit
way.
the nail on the
No,
head.
I like the way it was broken down, Coach. I promise I do. The only thing I'll say this is that I went to the fruit store and I brought a
here we
bag
go
of
with the analogy.
apples. Okay, went to the fruit store. I brought a bag of apples. Right. In that bag of apples, I about to put it in the fridge. I said, "Oh man, you know what? There's one apple in there that's starting to kind of get a little filmy." You know what I'm saying? I said, "Oh man, is it going bad?" I said, "But it'll be all right." You know what I'm saying? It'll be all right. So I put it in the fridge and let it stay fresh, thinking it was going to stay fresh.
No,
but
everyone
not
knows that.
realizing that what was going to happen. That one bad apple was going to spoil everybody.
Come on, man. They teach you that lesson in like 5th grade.
Well, here it is. Carson's the bad apple.
Okay.
I think you get rid of Carson. I think you see some of those glimpses. I don't think Carson respects Peterson. I don't think Carson likes Peterson. I think Carson's out there doing his
No,
own
but
thing.
see, if you look at everybody,
hold on.
Go ahead.
I think Carson's doing his own thing, and at the end of the day, when he gets on the podium, he doesn't sound accountable.
They never should have gotten married. That was the problem.
No, I'm not saying that. No, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But here's the thing. Like I said, he's just not being held accountable. And I think, no disrespect to you, but I think as fans and people such as yourself, that you're coddling him. You're not willing to, like Coach says, hey, listen, he's not getting the job done. Get his behind out.
I mean,
there.
listen,
Get
people
him out the
agree.
game.
Listen, some of our viewers agree. Nick, who's watching, wants to appreciate it. Nick said that he agrees with you that Carson is the bad.
Nicky, baby.
But
Nicky,
also,
baby.
here's the thing, though, and listen. Here's the other thing: is that people will tell you, and everyone knows, we need to clean house. And if clean house, if the let me take a deep breath.
This is hurtful for him.
This is
This is hard for him.
if cleaning house means looking at the options at quarterback, then I'm on board.
Look at the language. Look at the language. That's what I'm saying. You gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the language.
I do counseling and therapy. I'm very smart with my work.
If cleaning house means possibly looking at the options, what is that? Come on, I mean, those you want to understand,
Yeah.
man. But why? I'm telling you, you still have yet to answer that question. Why do you love Carson? Why? What is that? What? Tell me. What
I
do you
still
think,
think
Coach?
that-
Why do you think he loves Carson? Why do people love Carson?
Listen, I almost have to shave the beard.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Like I always
don't
go
get
back,
it?
and I don't like to bring it up all the time, but like I knew Donovan personally, played basketball a bunch, so like I that was my guy.
Right.
But like I don't like the hate he got for losing in the NFC NFC Championship games.
Yeah.
Compared to what Carson gets for
11-2
for being like I don't understand. It makes no sense.
And I agree with you. I will agree with that point. I agree that Carson is held to a pedestal that guys like Donovan, who brought us so much more success, never were able to obtain.
But nobody can answer why.
Why?
No, because like I said, and I'm telling you this. And listen, even as an Eagles fan, I don't think
Still
I'm
ain't
Eagles
answering.
fan. No, and I'll be honest with you. I don't. If you ask me why, even as Eagles, I can't tell you why.
I'll be the first to say, like, the beginning of the season, I was, we'll go back to the shows. I was saying, no, offensive line, this guy's hurt. Peterson's got to do a better job. But at some point, like, no. So even guys on bad teams have numbers. Like this guy doesn't. This guy like.
I know his numbers suck. His numbers suck, and it's crazy because look, at the end of the day, I think, and we haven't even brought this up, but this goes out to Jeffrey Lurie. Because Jeffrey Lurie's got to take a recognize of this team needs immediate change. And nothing's going to happen unless Jeffrey Lurie steps in and makes the changes. I'm looking at Jeffrey Lurie and saying, what are you going? I'm looking at Jeffrey Lurie and saying, are you going to step up and be the head, the owner of this team that he needs to be and make the moves? But Carson's killing me, man. Everyone would say, oh, you look like Carson. You look like Carson. Man, I almost thought about shaving the beard today because I'm afraid to be in public. I don't want people to think I'm Carson right now.
And listen, that's what it is because you really just defended him again. You know what I'm saying? You really just defended him again. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, this is interesting.
Okay, let's hear
it. So Nick who's watching said,
what's up, Nick?
So Nick said, and he said that he thinks that he kind of has a little bit of a Markel Fultz thing going on, where he needs a change of scenery. Because you saw that Fultz was successful when he changed scenes.
No, I don't. I mean,
a little bit. No, I like that comparison.
I like the comparison, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. 11-2. You might be. I think you're right about that. I agree with the change of scenery. That's needed. As far as the 11-2, he's done nothing but just do 11-2 for everybody to love him like this, and I don't understand it. They love him more than they love Nicky Foles. And he was the one that got the job done. He got the job done. How do you love this man Carson more than Nicky Foles?
You know what's interesting, actually? I think if you look over fan base, and I will not say this, but if you look at the fan base, if you ask like 50 Eagles fans, I think you're going to actually get more love for Nick Foles than Carson Wentz, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. But I think everybody also understands why
The situation
Carson
is as
is
it
the
is.
quarterback now instead of Nick Foles.
Right, because
I think that's just.
But
I think
overall-
that's the. I think that is the. What's the word I'm looking for? How the politics, the business side of sports comes into why Carson's the quarterback now instead of Nick Foles.
And you know what? And if that's the case, then I will have to say that I do put blame on the brain trust of the Eagles because common sense would tell me, okay, now when Carson gave us 11-2. And then Nicky Foles came in and brought us to the promised land. He was the one that said, no, Coach, Philly, and did his whole thing. Now it was on beer cans, other teams was running Philly,
right?
this and that. Nick Foles. So then next year, right, Carson comes back, okay, he breaks like Joe Glass, okay, he breaks down, okay, or Glass Joe. He breaks down, and what do? They throw Nicky back in the game, and he reinvigorates that offense, bring them to the playoffs. They won one game, but they lost. I
Well,
think
no,
right
they were
before
an
the
Alshon Jeffrey drop away from being
But they
back
lost,
in the
right?
AFC
But
Championship.
now here's the brain trust. Let me see. Nicky Foles, first year had to have him cover for Carson. He came in, got the job done. Second year had to do the same thing, got the job done. Damn, the third year, now let's get rid of him. Where's the brain trust? Common sense tell you, bring his ass back again. Bring him back. Obviously, it's something doing that he is.
Well, see,
he might be made to fit for the Eagles. What did they say? He's like 26 and 12 or something like that with the Eagles, and garbage like Carson with every other team. Think about that.
I think no, I agree with that. I think the Eagles even knew that because after that 1 year, they had the option to not. I think he was on a team option or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they brought him
But
back.
Foles also left because he wanted to try to be a starter.
Yeah, he wanted to get paid. And
Because he felt like, wait a minute. I mean, think about it, coach. You come on. Think about you bring the city a chip that they ain't had since before what is it? Before Nixon. Long time ago. They bring you a chip and they still don't want you to start?
But
Damn.
hold on.
Damn.
For Nick Foles though, it wasn't about football because he was trying to get paid. Because if it's about football, you don't go to the Jaguars.
No, he wanted to get paid.
He just was
got
trying
paid.
to get paid.
Yeah.
Which I don't fault him for at all.
because you got to look at it.
So I'm saying if it was about football, he would have gone to a different team. I don't even know what the options were. I forget what they were at that time. But he went where he was getting the most money to start, which I completely understand.
Right. It was a healthy balance.
No, we're gonna suck, and I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna make a lot of money.
That's not fair though. I mean, no, I think it was a healthy balance.
Healthy
Like,
balance of what?
meaning that, I can get some money, I get a lot of money,
Yes.
and I get a chance to start. So those were his two non-negotiables, and he got it from the Jaguars, right?
But I'm gonna be irrelevant.
You know what? I got a phone number.
Huh?
But I'm gonna be irrelevant.
Well, I mean, but if you know Nicky Foles' mentality, he's like, I just brought Philly a chip. I just did this. I could do the same thing with the Jaguars, but obviously he did.
You know what's
I'm
very
just saying,
interesting?
that could have been his good mentality.
And you know what's interesting? I was just able to find a thing where I could contact Carson, so I might have to try to reach out to him.
You know what? Look, reach out to
Again.
him and DM
DM him again.
the video of this. He's garbage. And I know you're in Woodstown. He's garbage, son. He's garbage. He's garbage. Why do they love him so much? I just want to know why you love him so much.
There is no good answer to that. I don't think
know.
I'm
Everybody
telling
I
you-
love, I can tell you why I love him. Damn. Everybody.
No, you're right, and I'm telling I'm telling you this. I loved Carson because when he came in,
Love,
and I'm
dude?
still
Or love.
I still love him.
Okay, thanks.
Still love him.
Okay.
I still love him. I mean, I'm loyal. But this relationship is getting strained. It's very hard. All right, listen, it's very hard. I mean, again, you saw a lot of emotions tonight. When we're done this show, I don't really have smoke. I don't have to have a cigarette or something because I'm out of stress tonight. But either way, listen, I mean, I think the biggest thing that comes down to it is we want to see if this is where the accountability from top to bottom starts and if those moves are going to be made, when they're going to be made. I think right now, like, honestly, I'm not really, I don't know if you could do the in-season firing. I don't know if that does anything.
You can't do that now
Yeah.
because they're still in the playoff race,
Right.
or whatever.
And in-season firing of who? Who? See, again, you know what I'm saying?
Well-
Again, who's he talking about getting fired?
Well, I think if you were to fire Howard Roseman and Doug Peterson right now, okay, I think that's all you can do because that's what would happen. However, but no. And I said this last week. I don't think anything happens with Carson until they're eliminated from playoff contention, just because it's an easy way out.
It's an easy
It's an easy way out. Like
And that's
he
the
gives
problem.
us the best chance to win because the other thing is unknown.
Right.
But it's interesting. Like,
Well, we knew he threw that he threw a pass to Alshon, and Alshon got his first reception.
right. Okay. But I mean,
Should Alshon go that long without a reception? Is that-
right. Okay. Ben Simmons also hit 1-3. Big deal.
Okay.
I mean, listen.
Okay.
But I mean, but that's the thing.
Ben Simmons is an all-NBA player. I just want to.
Oh, I know.
You can't trash my guy.
No, listen. Listen, that's a whole other talk and a whole other conversation. I'm not trashing Ben at all. I'm just saying. But here's the thing, and at the end of the day, the worst thing, like I've said before, the worst thing for this team that could happen is if they somehow manage to sneak into the playoff. because I think that throws an entire wrench and it gives an out to Jeffrey Lurie. It gives Doug Peterson something to hang his hat on.
That's what you want, though.
What?
You want them to sneak into the playoffs, though.
Well, I'm just double listening.
That's what I'm saying. I'm figuring it out,
I would love, listen, at this point, no, because at this point, it's like, listen, again, at this point, it doesn't matter if we sneak into the playoffs, because this team is done. They're cooked. And all that does is push back what could happen. What needs to happen at this point is we need to stop what's going on. We need to move forward with this organization and this regime. And making the playoffs, as much as a fan, I would love to see it. I know it's not what's good for this team.
All right, listen, we got about 10 more minutes, right? I just want to say one thing. What is it about why we can't, like, sit Carson down and at least give Jalen Hurts a chance? Why? Why can't
They won't do it if there's like Coach said. They won't do it if there's still a shot at the playoffs on the line. They won't.
What? How many games in a row is this?
What's that? Losses?
Yeah.
Is it their
It's
fourth loss in a row?
Third or fourth.
Fourth loss in a row.
Fourth loss in a row.
No, they were 3-7-1, 3-8-1. You have to double check.
3-8.
Yeah, 3-8-1 now. Yes. So it doesn't matter though. As long as the playoffs are on the line, they won't sit Carson. That's what's gonna happen. They won't.
And I can't, as a coach, I don't even know if I can fault them for that, because I know if I'm coaching a game and my main guys, let's say that, aren't playing well, and we're still in the game and they're not playing well, and I take them out and these guys come in and they're doing well, I'm probably still gonna finish with my main guy.
Okay.
Because it's but see, no, that's different. 'Cause I trust my main guys usually.
Right.
So I mean, if there's no trust between Peterson and Wentz, that
That's what I'm
changes
saying.
that changes that whole.
But at the same time, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I admire your coaching. And at the same time, I've seen you, just say, you know what, you got a feel, and there's a unit on the court that's meshing well, you going with the unit because you're going to go with what's going to produce that victory. My thing is that Carson's not giving nothing. Zero. But yet, he's still given an opportunity. I just want to know why he's loved so much. You didn't love Donovan, you didn't love Mike Vick, you didn't love Nicky Foles, you didn't love Kevin Cobb's bum behind. You know what I'm saying? You didn't love Randall
because you
Cunningham.
want to know why? Here's the
I don't
thing.
even know
what? No,
you
brought
even
up-
love Jaworski this way.
So Jaws I hate Jaws. I can't stand Jaws.
Yeah.
I can't stand Jaws.
Right.
You know
But
what?
you love Carson.
Right. I can't stand. I don't know what it is. Listen, I don't hate is a terrible word to say. I don't know. I've never really been a big fan, but again, he was before my time really, so I can't really say comment on it. You know what's interesting, and you brought up a great point. You brought up Kevin Cobb. I remember AJ Feely too. AJ Feely had come in and he went 4-1, and everyone was like, AJ Feely, man, AJ Feely. Philadelphia, which is a city of losers.
What's emotions? That's all
Right,
it is.
it's a city of losers. We're used to losing. When we get a taste of winning, we just grab on to it, and that is what we thought with Carson, that we had winning for years to come, and we grabbed on it.
And it's good. I mean, listen. I'm not against sometimes self-diagnosing. Okay, so I'm not against that.
Self-diagnosing?
Sometimes. No. You diagnose yourself. I understand. I'm not against that. But sometimes with the self-diagnosing,
The reactive attachment disorder.
Yeah, okay, I mean,
know.
But what I'm saying, the issue is sometimes when you have the problem and you try to self-diagnose it, it might say, well, then why do you have the problem? And obviously, if you had the solution, then you wouldn't have the problem. So my thing is this: at the end of the day, Carson, what do you lose? I don't think you lose anything. I think that you actually listen. I think they would never. Nobody's never has never been afraid to sit any of those quarterbacks down. Any of them.
No, you're right.
They're almost like they're afraid. The last quarterback I seen them give, not even the Eagles, but the Giants, right? They were afraid to sit Eli down. Now I could understand that. He brought you two rings.
Yeah.
He brought
might
you
be the best quarterback
something.
in Giants history. So I
Right. He
understand.
brought you something, right? Carson's brought you just 11-2. Damn.
It's been a very good, been a very good therapy session for me,
It's-
Jay. Because it's maybe he's opened my eyes to.
Has it?
He has a little bit.
And going back to
No, I'm
Lloyd,
not falling for it. I'm
I'm
not
not-
falling
no,
for the
no, no.
banana in the tailpipe.
There's no
I'm
way.
not falling for it.
No, I'm still going to support my guy.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
But
It hasn't been a
here's the
good
thing,
session
though. But
today.
I agree. No. And again, and I know it's one that coach. I'll let you get to you in a minute. But I know that a lot of Carson supporters, like I said, are starting to recognize that he may not be the answer, and they want to see changes. I mean, I know guys within my own, close circle of friends. Like
Sure.
it was. Again, it starts with Doug and it starts with Howie, but they're not. They're holding Carson accountable now. They are.
the thing that I think is the issue that we're not going to get any closure to is this, like, and I think there was the article right before the game that Jeff Lurie said if Carson's not playing well, let's see some more of Jalen Hurts. No. You have to sit him. Like, it has to be Carson. You're the backup. Hurts. You're like this in and out stuff doesn't do anything.
I agree. 100%.
And it's not. It's also not. It's not effective. This isn't high school football.
Right.
Like,
No, because even as a
guys got to get in rhythm.
Yes,
Right.
you gotta have
Right.
you gotta have rhythm, and I think that like the plan needs to be again. Look, they're gonna get their blasted against the Packers on Sunday. They're gonna get blasted, and I think that there needs to be an understanding of at some point in this game, Jalen gets a legitimate shot. I'm not talking one play, 2 plays. Like Jalen, if we're down 14 in the first, going into the half, whatever it may be, this is your time. You're starting the second half. Let's see what we got with you. But again, we talked about. I don't know if they will do it as an organization because of the fact that they're still riding with him, and I also think that once you sit him down, it's going to be. I mean, Carson's already very fragile mentally. He's very fragile mentally. If you sit him down, I think you break him. And I think you're done with him.
I agree with that, but that goes to show you what you have, though. Like most people, like if you, I mean, I think especially as a football player, I would want somebody who's tough, who like if I'm the coach and I get into them and I'm laying into them, that they're gonna respond to that.
Exactly.
Or even you can be pissed off, but like be pissed off and come back and prove me wrong or whatever. But when you have guys going. And I have, kids like this that I coach that, like, I don't want them on my team anymore. Like, if you go cry and pout on the bench, like, I'm done with you. Like,
Right.
If you can't handle that.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's the ultimate accountability.
It is.
Sit down.
Right.
That's the only power
Only way you
coaches
get better
have.
as a player is if you can accept when you're struggling and sit down
That's
and
it.
say, what do I have to do to get better?
You gotta dig deep inside yourself.
I've done the same thing. When I've had coaches, or when I've coached players that were struggling and may have been, I remember I had a kid I coached, and he was touted to be this, and this, struggling to start the season. And he couldn't handle being sat because it was, listen, what do you do to get your game done? And if you can't do that, you're not ultimately going to be successful.
It's called resiliency.
That's
How,
exactly
how do you respond when all the chips is down? And I just don't see Carson doing it. I actually think that Jalen Hurts starts on Sunday.
I'm interested to see what happens. And with that said,
And they gotta make it by tomorrow, right? Or tonight, tomorrow. They gotta make that decision, right? By Wednesday.
no, they don't have to make a decision.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
have to make a
Oh, okay.
decision.
I thought I-
They can.
They can
Oh, okay.
run out there.
No, they
Oh,
can.
okay.
They can. They can just literally run out
Okay.
there Sunday morning.
Okay. I thought they make it early to give them more reps.
Well,
with
no,
the
what
first
They
team.
might
What
go
they'll do is-
inside.
Oh, inside.
They don't
Okay.
have to announce anything.
Announce it.
at all.
Okay.
Because today was interesting. He didn't comment on it because normally in the game after press conference, and they ask Doug will say like, "Oh, I'm sticking with Carson, my quarterback." They actually didn't say it today. But Coach, you got any final thoughts before we wrap up tonight's special episode?
No, I mean, like I said, man, this was for me. It was par for the course. Like they kept it close, so that there's no rumblings, and it's gonna be interesting what happens next Sunday. And I honestly believe next Sunday is gonna be a lot of the same. Where I don't think the Packers are gonna blow them out per se,
Right.
but I think it's gonna be close enough where we're still in the game, even though you have no chance to win the game.
Right. So, and Jay, your final thought?
I just want to help my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to help my friend here.
Thank goodness for
Help
the
me.
Savior.
Can you help me? Help me help him. So listen, just leave some comments. Do something to help me. I don't know why he loves Carson. He still hasn't answered the question. Why do you love him? Those are my final thoughts. Other than that, I have no other final thoughts. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good week. Hope everybody stays safe. Pardon my eye. I blew a blood vessel along my nose. That's crazy, right?
That's crazy. Well, I blew a gasket watching the game, so I
Oh,
understand.
well, you know. That's what I'm saying. See, he's still hurt. See, that's what I'm saying. We have to help him. So just help me help him. All right? Thank you. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen.
And I appreciate you being there for me, Jay. I really do. I really do. But listen, guys. Follow us on Facebook as usually. Follow us on YouTube Live. We have the Let's Get It page. We're always posting questions. We're always posting discussion topics. And that's the question for the week. Why do we love Carson?
Why do you love him?
Next Sunday, we will be on 7 p.m. Catch us live. You've been watching Let's Get It. Thanks very much. We'll see you next week.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel.